Left coast is the best coast.
Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to have a look at the Book of Boba Fett wave retro collection. So first we have Luke Skywalker Jedi Academy. So this is pretty cool looking Luke Jedi. We recognize the figure. What's different is this one has a black cloak, includes a green lightsaber, and he doesn't come with a blaster though, as I find out when I open him up. I just assumed he would have. And the back, it just shows all the figures in this wave and tells you that in every language known to man. So there's Luke on his retro card back. Next up, let's have a look at little Grogu. So they have released Grogu before in a previous Mando wave. This time he comes with Luke's backpack, so they can do some Jedi training. And he also comes with a little frog, and I think he came with that frog the first time as well. So, you know, kind of just had to get him just for the backpack, really. And here's another kind of repack. So this Mando was also in a series 2 of the Mando retro wave. But this one comes with a dark saber and doesn't have his long rifle, but he's pretty shiny. It looks pretty good. Soft goods cape on there like the last one. And new to the retro collection, we have Cad Bane. The card was a little damaged there, but he's an opener. It's all good. This one's actually surprised me. He's a good looking figure, and once I get him out of the package, you'll see how cool he actually is. But I'm happy to have this guy in the collection for sure. Now I guess this sand person is also really cool. New colors on the body, and as we'll see, it's a similar body sculpt as the original Kenner sand person. This one's the Tusken Warrior now. Comes with the same gaffy stick, holds it the same way. Paint's is a little different on his face as well, and new soft goods. And looking forward to the Krrsantan in the retro collection. How badass is this? What are you looking at? Of course, you guys little bearded dreads, a big ass laser rifle, pretty cool. Fennec Shand, first time also in the retro collection. She looks awesome. Very reminiscent of the Kenner Boosh, Leon Boosh disguise with the removable helmet. Similar helmet too, as we find out. It's kind of soft, unlike the rest of the figure, which is the standard plastic. Awesome. And last but not least, we have Boba Fett in the Dune Sea. So this is another badass figure. Straight out of the early episodes, hanging with the Tuskens on Tatooine. Has a long rifle and a gaffy stick. And comes with a cool little soft goods robe as well. It's a good looking figure even without the robe, so you can display him either way or collect two. Okay, now that we let these retros breathe, let's have a little closer look at them. Start from, try to keep them in the same order. So we got the Jedi training Luke. Actually, it's probably called something different now. Yeah, so he's pretty cool to have with the black cloak and his green lightsaber, which is the Kenner style. The figures, as we'll see, is a similar mold to the original Kenner. I wish this would focus a lot better. Original Kenner Luke Jedi, and you know, the colors are pretty close. It's a little shinier, And with the darker cloak, though, it's pretty cool. Nice to include a figure like this in a wave of retros. So let's see, I got my vintage Jedi Luke here. We can kind of compare. So notice the brownish gray robe in a very similar texture and material. Probably the same kind of sew pattern. Oh, no, not mix these up. You can see the similarities and the differences. So the Kenner Luke has a painted face, and they have the molded face in the flesh color for the new retros, which is good to see. That's the desirable vintage one, I believe, as well. And so here's the vintage Luke weapons from the Kenner. So the Kenner Luke had a blaster and a lightsaber, and the new Mando, or the new Book of Boba Fett wave Luke, just comes with the lightsaber. So here's the variant blue lightsaber in the Kenner line, with a variant Luke Jedi robe as well. I kind of pair those up. So yeah, pretty cool to see the dark cloak, which is pictured on the back of some of the Kenner card backs before the Luke Jedi actually came out. I don't know which back it was, 48 back maybe? And it actually showed Luke in a black robe, and we ended up getting him in this tan and gray robe that you just saw. So pretty cool to see Luke. Now let's have a little look at young Grogu. Din Grogu, as he's now known. Very cool to come with the Jedi training backpack, as he did, as we got as an accessory in the vintage Kenner line. Very cool, actually. The first version came with a pram, I believe, for the Mando wave, which I couldn't find to compare to, but I know I got them somewhere. And here I'm going to spend 18 minutes putting this knapsack on. I think I'll speed it up now. That wasn't so bad, just put the head in the wrong hole to begin with. But pulling those little ropes through the sides was a bit of a pain in the ass. So he doesn't hold his lightsaber very well, so that kind of sucks. Kind of twisted it in his hand, so now it's holding it. There's Din Grogu in his backpack. I didn't try to put this on with the robe because I didn't train with the robe on. So I got him to balance there, not too bad. Okay, let's do a little comparison here, or a little Grogu down. So there's a vintage collection Grogu. Pretty small, actually. This is the Black Series Grogu, which is even maybe a little smaller than the retro one. This is a Fig Arts one, I believe. It's actually really cool. And there you have it. Now let's have a look at Mando. So this time Mando comes with the dark saber as well as his hand pistol. Soft goods robe. Drapes pretty nice over his jetpack, which is pretty cool on his sculpt. He doesn't really need to hold both, but let's give it a try here. So it's kind of a translucent, almost dark gray color, which is kind of different, but in that Kenner lightsaber style. Give it a little twist, you can get it staying there. There's a little trick, a little tip for the day. I've been really looking forward to the Tusken Warrior from this wave. Same Kenner mold and sculpt with a new paint app, which I think is pretty cool. A little different in the face, but some similar colors that we're used to, and a new soft goods robe, which is actually really cool and a little more complicated than you'd think. They've made no robes in this style, so kind of took me a second here to figure out how to get it off safely and be able to put it back on again afterwards. But yeah, just to show you recognize that sculpt, right? How cool is that? I'm really digging this. I was looking forward to this figure for sure. and I would like to get a couple more. I'm not lying. So there's to compare to the original Kenner Sandperson, which they have released in the retro wave. I haven't got that set yet though. That's the other 6-pack on Shop Hasbro and Shop Disney online exclusives. Those 6-pack, second pack from the original 12. So I still need that one and all those retros without a doubt. Next on my list, now that I got this wave. So gotta be careful here, you know, poke a thumb through it there. Took me a minute, but I got it figured out. And now how to put that back on. Yeah, it just goes that one way, but it is a little bit fragile, so be careful while you're playing with this figure. I know you will. Except you inboxers, usual Mike. You gotta play with it. You gotta feel the soft goods. You gotta lift his arms up and put that gaffy stick in it just to get that sense. Yeah, the robe's pretty cool actually. I'm gonna play with this and put it on the original Kenner one and see how it looks. So same old gaffy stick as I compare it to my Kenner version. Very cool. Actually, it's got a little extra notch in there, if I'm not mistaken. There's a gray gaffy stick that came with the Rancor Keeper that's a similar mold as well, but definitely a different color. Yeah, that's the only way. The only way to pose a Tusken Raider is right there. Come on, there you go. Yeah, very cool figure. Okay, it does have 2 notches on there. Very cool figure to have in the collection. Next up we have Cad Bane. Now this figure, I wasn't expecting him to be so badass. He is so Kenner, it's not funny. Great sculpt details, paint selection and colors on the blues, down to his gauntlets on his arms, his breather apparatus on the back. The hat being removable would have been really cool, but it's still a badass figure, man. Definitely worth picking up. Next up we have Krrsantan. Now I was really looking forward to this guy just because he's so badass. Right away you can tell how badass he is. So he's right down to the knuckle dusters, his brass knuckles. A soft rubber kind of chest piece, which you can see is removable, similar to Luke's backpack. I don't take it off this video because I want to play with him a little bit first, but I'll show you on a short or a reel, so you'll have to check out a video on that coming soon because he's that badass. Here's my original Kenner Chewbacca, so let's do a little comparison. So give him his little bowcaster there, just hitch it on his arm, and his thumb goes through the hole. So yeah, it's a little shorter, but I think in real life Chewbacca is actually taller than Krrsantan. So, but still, he's a bulky, badass Kenner style Wookiee, and you gotta get him. Done in the last 2. Let's have a look at Fennec Shand. Now I was looking forward to her, and I'm impressed, man. She turned out really good and looks great with her helmet on, down to her little pigtail there. Big ass blaster, some different paint details on her, from black to a dark gray, the red highlight. And then underneath we have the Ming-Na Wen face sculpt. That looks so Kenner. It looks great. And the helmet is that softer kind of plastic, much like the Leia Bouche, as we'll compare the two here. So here's my Kenner Bouche from 1980 maybe, 1983. You can see the soft rubber helmet. Similar in size, even with the head sculpt. Very comparable figures, and you can see that's where they drew some inspiration from. Fennec looks really good in the retro collection. And you can see here just how similar these removable helmets are in the soft plastic. Pretty cool. I'm impressed with him. So he definitely looks better with it on, though, I think, in my opinion. And has a cool original blaster. And last, but definitely not least, let's have a look at the star of this wave, Boba Fett. Look at that. How awesome is that bald-headed goodness? He has a very cool original rifle that he can wear over his shoulder like that, with the little strap. Pretty cool. I like that a lot. And of course the gaffy stick, which is his weapon of choice in many situations. Pretty cool. It's very same one as the Tusken. I didn't compare them, but I can tell right away. And yeah, he's got a cool soft goods, and the sculpt underneath is fantastic. I was just as impressed as this figure as he looks without this soft goods robe. So it'd be neat to play with this robe on some other figures and see what we can come up with. Man, I'm not saying these are gonna hit a dollar store near you next year, but man, I hope to get some extras. That's for sure. He also has a holster like some of the other figures we've seen, but he doesn't come with a little blaster for it. You'll have to steal one from the original Boba Fett from this wave, which also has a holster and a little hand blaster. So really good sculpt detail on this Boba Fett for sure. Definitely want a couple more of those for some customizers and army building of some sorts. So a super cool retro style Kenner Boba Fett figure right here. I'm gonna say this is my favorite right now out of the box. I'm gonna play with them a little bit and see what my opinion change. So here's a clean, fresh painted armor Boba Fett. Be neat to kind of do a head swap. I've already seen a couple pop up on Facebook, but that was my intention all along. But I've only got the one so far. I need to pick him up. There's the original Kenner Boba Fett. So how cool is that, man? He fits right in. I think they did a great job on this wave, and I hope to see lots more from the retro collection. I'm loving all these Mandoverse retros from the Star Wars retro collection, and I'm going to collect them all. It says so right on the card back. Even though there's a couple of customs in here, you got to pick those up if Hasbro's not making them. So we got Heavy Mando, he's a custom, has no talent, I believe. And then I got Zero as another custom from Has No Talent. The armor was my favorite from that previous wave. I'm looking forward to lots more. There's so many more characters that they could do in this wave that would just fit in. So yeah, it says right on the package, you gotta collect them all. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you in the next video. And remember to collect them all and let
Yes.
Left coast is the best coast.